how do you see this playing out, frankly? Because what we've seen over the last couple of days, so much market movement. Jay Powell coming out here with that last-ditch effort, firing the bazooka. So many people saying he's already done too much. There's not that much more he can do. Where does it leave us?
Well, I like to think in terms of scenario analysis. So let's just trace a couple of scenarios that seem plausible. One of them is the White House and Congress take some pretty decisive action now. They're talking about giving every American $1,000, kids $500. For a family of single parent and 2 kids, that's $2,000 in their pocket that can help pay the bills the next few months. The problem for the U.S. economy is a lot of cities are shutting down, and people staying home, not going out to restaurants, not going out shopping, not buying cars. So I don't see how we're going to avoid having a recession. But the good scenario is the one where this goes, reasonably well from a public health standpoint, and by July or August, people are getting back to work, going out and spending money that they saved in the meantime, and the economy has a fairly quick recovery in the fall. I think that would certainly be the best case scenario at this point. A less ideal scenario is one where the public health problems drag on for months and months, and there continues to be cases, and it's just not clear when it's going to be time for people to get back to work. And in that scenario, the recession could drag on a lot further, and maybe more decisive fiscal policy measures would be required sometime mid to later this year.
Of course, this will all depend on, I guess, how deep any looming recession would be. But what about the spectre of corporate bailouts that we're already hearing about with respect to the transport, travel, tourism, airline industry? How significant a hit could failures across that part of the economy be to overall U.S. economic growth?
Well, remember that 2/3 of the economy is consumer spending, and so I think a critical thing to keep an eye on here is how to make sure that consumers continue to spend. Again, there's going to probably be a slowdown in consumer spending in the next few months, but to keep the fundamentals as strong as possible, keeping money in people's pockets, making sure that there's not too many layoffs, that people get back to work quickly. I think a critical thing for the Federal Reserve and the Treasury to do soon is to figure out a way to provide liquidity to small and medium enterprises. One of the tools that they started developing in 2009 was called the TALF. And it was a lending facility, somewhat similar to things that ECB and the Bank of England have done, where the Treasury put up the money that was sort of the credit risk, and then the Federal Reserve leveraged that. And the original plan was it was going to go up to $1 trillion that would have provided money, credit. We could do something like that this year to help ensure that small businesses that are fundamentally sound don't all go bankrupt. We don't want to have a Great Depression where lots of businesses are disappearing and all those workers are out of jobs permanently. We need to get through this, and I think there's ways to do it with the right combination of monetary and fiscal policy.